680 CJOB, Winnipeg's news and information leader. With your news now.
No stems, no seeds that you don't need. Acapulco Gold is
bad weed.
Yeah, it's time to talk a little marijuana. Big changes on the horizon for the medical marijuana industry in Canada. Right now, people who need it can essentially grow it themselves or have someone they know grow it for them. But come next spring, that will no longer be the case. They will have to get it from a Health Canada approved provider. Now, some marijuana advocates worry that will hike up the cost, pricing some who need it out of the market. Sam Malachi of BC, an advocate himself, applying today to Health Canada to become the first fully licensed producer of medical marijuana. Basically, he'll be allowed to grow a whole bunch of weed legally. Now, many people don't know this, but the Canadian Medical Marijuana Clinic is located right here in Manitoba. It's in Brandon. Now, it's not actually a building or anything, but it's run from home by Jade Ridge, who coordinates with doctors in the area. Now, Ms. Ridge is on the line right now to talk about not necessarily specifically these changes, because they are happening whether anyone likes it or not, but medical marijuana in general. And I'm really curious, how common is the use of medical marijuana in this province? Is it more common, Jade, than we think? Is it happening, I guess, pardon the pun, but is it happening right under our noses?
Oh, yes. We have all sorts of patients. You would not even believe, obviously can't disclose, what kind of occupations or what kind of illnesses that entails, but I can tell you it comes in all races and all sorts of occupations and all sorts of diseases. And, you would probably walk down the street and look at that old lady and you would not even know that she's eating medicated brownies just to feel better for her arthritis, things like that. I would say yes, definitely. There's way more patients out there than I think the public knows about.
How easy is it to get medical marijuana, or hard? Because you always hear, and maybe this isn't accurate, but on the TV shows and in the movies where people just want marijuana, so they kind of make up an illness and go down and take a note to their doctor or whatever, and then boom, they get all the marijuana they need. Is that how it really works, or is it much more complicated than that?
Well, I don't know as far as other finding physicians, but we have a very, very strict program. First of all, our screening process entails a long-winded history of your whole history, basically your medical history. And, how does cannabis affect you in your life now? Have you ever tried cannabis? If you haven't, then why the interest? Those sort of things. But definitely medical documentation has to be 100%. And, if they're a candidate under the Health Canada policies, then, yeah, we will definitely help them out if that's what they choose to do.
I guess all of this would sort of be moot, and all of it would be much simpler if marijuana was just legalized by the government, Jade. Last question, do you think that is something that is coming? And if it is coming, how far away are we from it?
I definitely think that cannabis will be legalized at some point. As long as we get Harper out, we do have a fighting chance. Now, legalizing cannabis, would probably be, I would think, in the next 5 years or so. Hopefully, this program that happens now fails even harder than the first time around, because essentially it's going to push, this new program is going to push people to do more underground and more black market work than ever before. Prohibition, it didn't work for alcohol, it didn't work for tobacco, it's not going to work for marijuana. You can't stop it, and we waste billions and billions and billions of dollars, taxpayers' money each year for marijuana-related crimes that just end up, just being backed up in court. It's just wasted time and money, really.
Wow, man.
Jade Ridge. She's the founder of the Canadian Medical Marijuana Clinic. She thinks she'll basically be out of business when the drug is fully legalized within 5 years. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if she's right.
Hi, this is Bob Irving here to let you know of